Time to pull the sword out the stone. Take my throne. Hey, have any of y'all ever worked or been around a real attractive woman? A real bad dime. A dime. Not no, okay, she got nice hips. Long, thirst quenching legs. No. I'm talking about a dime. Listen, the ones I used to work with when I had a corporate job for 13 years, right? TMI used to get suited and booted, right? I can't front though. The first 3 years in a warehouse, then I moved up to a filing clerk. And then after that, then they gave me like a real desk and not a shelves. And I did payroll. You know what I mean? Process payroll. Anyway, all women work corporate. And I used to work with some really bad ones, right? I mean, bad, right? And they always used to tell me one of their biggest... It's not like they wouldn't talk to a regular dude. It's just they get hit on so much at the grocery store, going to pick up her mother's prescribed medication, going to get a hot dog for the hot dog truck. I thought that was odd. I'm like, yo, you don't eat yogurt in the morning, fruit in the afternoon, and then by mid-afternoon you have a hot dog? I was like, protein. The girls got. Shout out to Jennifer, y'all. Sit-ups, push-ups, sit-up, push-ups, no. But they get hit on a usual rate than the average chick. Like, they'll be at the light and just be like, I'm talking about hair done, nails done, everything done. And you don't even get a chance to know them. You just, boom, you just see it and you just want that. You don't know. You just look and see the hips. You don't even know why you want it. You just want it. That's been me my entire life. I don't even know why I want it. I just want it. Just like with the eating, the overeating. I would eat when I wasn't hungry. Only child, man. Left alone. Mother went to college. Mother had 2 jobs. 2 jobs, went to college. Shout out to my dukes. Yo, listen, you did everything for me. You gave me all the G.I. Joes. I had 62 G.I. Joes. I had the dude with the scuba, had the dude with the flamethrower, had the dude with the parachute, I had the dude with the ninja sword, had the other G.I. Joe with the ninja sword. Storm, what was it, Shadow? No, the dude with the bandana. So I had all of that. Didn't have a Millennium Falcon though, mama. We're gonna work on that in the next life. We're gonna get me a Millennium Falcon. Anyway, they're kind of like messed up in the head creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like, the light on my camera though. They're like kind of like messed up in the head creatures, kind of, because they don't, I don't know. I've been around a lot of them. Like, I've been a questionnaire dude all the time. Like, I tell all the time, right? I be like, yo, we're kind of like journalists. Like, we report, you know what I'm saying? If we don't get it right the first time, we got to go back and, a lot of times I'm in the areas where I don't really want to be at. I don't really like going to the casino late at night, partying with beggars. On the dance floor with a dude that got $2. That's not happening to me. That's not hitting to me. But, shout out to Playa Chiquita. I don't know why they don't start keeping some of them dudes out, but if something's wrong with the electricity in my truck, I gotta open the door to let the window down, which is crazy. This ain't gonna be one of the most cleanest versions of my videos, but yeah, I used to work with some bad ones, and I was cool. Once you cool, they know they can trust you, and the real dimes know that you're not gonna try to when you're not gonna do the gymnastics or try to. That's when they open up. That's when they be like, yo, last night Rick came over, tore it up, but he married. They're like, what? I'm like, what? Yeah, I've been dating him. Like, how do you consider yourself dating him? Like, how? How do you consider yourself dating that man? My wife is messed up. I gotta roll the window back up. I wanted some air. Now I gotta wait at the light and open the door. But that's the life some of them lead. They you know how a real bad chick always like, I can't find a good man for the life of me. Like, oh, baby, you can't find a good man, baby. Because I used to get texts from them late at night. Yo, I'm just leaving here now. What are you doing? And when I swear to y'all, when you catch a wounded duck, the whole thing is you cannot look thirsty. Life is about that. You got to be cool in threatening situations. You got to be ice cold sometimes, baby. You got to. Sometimes you can get it with not even wanting it. You know what I mean? That's what, with all the cool dudes. You know what I'm saying? Cool dudes be like, either that or just bold and rude. You know what I mean? Just rude. Be like, man, I'm going to take down that stinking, nasty, doop, 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 doop. Like, what? Like, you really said that? Yeah. Like, oh, man, I know you ain't hit, though. Yeah. Like, wait, what? Well, I just showed up, blew the horn. Like, no call? Nah. And listen, some dudes may have had it like that. Some dudes may have had it like that. Right? Some dudes might have had all those. But were they not? Was it someone that I wanted? Was it someone that the next man would have wanted? No. Like a lot of dudes, you brag, I did gymnastics with this one. I did gymnastics with that one. No one wants to hear about your 2s and 3s and nil. I'm just saying, hate to judge people, but we're in a judging world. I used to ask religious dons, like religious attractive women, if you love the Lord, how do you have a preference? I can have a preference. The Lord want me, the Lord. Now, if you got a religious dime, God help you. Because everybody in the church is taking it down. Once you like amongst them, you got a shot. But it's a thin, slim, narrow shot. Why didn't I roll the window up when I was at the light? No one's there to remind me. Listen, a lot of times I go out, like this time of the year, a lot of people do their spring cleaning. So a lot of times, like everybody out there, you got stuff in your house that you don't want. So you just throw it out. You don't know the value of it or what it could be. Like a lot of people got money, so they don't care if they got, I gotta pull over. This is ridiculous. A lot of people don't care if it's $60. They just want to get rid of it. And they don't want to do any legwork to get rid of it themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I view Sosua and the ladies. And messing the prices up. Only the dudes waiting on their paychecks care about the prices. Messing the prices up in the supermarket. Thou now shalt groweth. Thy flour of each man's wheat. And thy taketh thy shekel, thy peso. But listen though, if you've never been in those situations, and a lot of overweight men out there have not been in those situations, a lot of times I forced myself in those situations. There was a time in 1991, right? There was a club group performing. I forgot the name of the club. Climax, whatever. I don't know what it was. But there was a girl I went to high school with, had a birthday party there. Went there, and all cheerleaders and friends of cheerleaders and clubs and gymnastics and around the room. I mean, real gymnasts, like gymnasts. Not that type of not that. But it was just a lot of attractive women. A lot of Japs, as I like to say. Not the Japanese. And those are the terms that the other men use. And my boy, who was at the time in the academy, shout out to the police officers, very hard job, right? We only see it one side, but you gotta sometimes see it from their side, you know what I'm saying? Going to a project building with two couples fighting over crayons, you know what I'm saying? It's a difficult job sometimes. Anyway. Now the club was popping and the girls were just loose and just dangled. There was very few dudes in there. It was like maybe 6 dudes in there and the security. And it was just like, you had everything that you wanted, but I was like, and what destroyed me was the chick was like, how many times you gonna wear that Snoopy sweater? I was like, you know, back in the days, they had the cartoon characters, Anyway, word, and I just like shanked my night. But anyway, I said it to say that I've learned that even though because of your size, I've been going to the gym my entire life. A lot of dudes don't get that. A lot of dudes just comment just to comment, like, you know, whatever, they got a business or they're trying to, whatever. I don't believe some of you dudes out there talking about, yeah, my cousin had a baddie. Of course, listen, you come hard enough with the paper, you want to get yourself a baddie. You're going to get yourself a 10. At the end of the day, there's no talking. You get on Pedro Casanta, you get off the plane. You get in a taxi. All of them charge $25. You get to where you got to get. You get to where you got to get. Pull up, pop up, boom, suitcases. Out. Hit the strip. If you know anybody, don't know anybody, like I said, hit TMI, I'll help. Any way that I can. And now listen, the services of freeness are getting slimmer and slimmer because I'm just getting requests like by the boatload, okay? Okay? I feel like I'm Ellis Island back in the days with the Italians and looked up and be like, whoa, we told y'all could come, but there's 300,000 people on 2 boats. Anyway. Did I finish the story about the club? Anyway, like I said, no matter the circumstances I was in, I learned to be prepared, like clothes-wise, hair-wise. Like, you could be neat, be like, oh, he always chilling. Everybody, and not even just the hood, anybody that we know, just like, you can be overweight and be a sharp dresser. I was never really a sharp dresser just because I had no skills at it. My people just be like, get the coochie sweater. Like, okay, the barbecue's coming, get the coochie sweater. Like, it's too hot for that. Man, just get the... I remember when the dudes had the Hawaiian suits in New York. The Hawaiian suits. I wanted one so bad, but I didn't. Listen, if you was over like a 44 waist in the late 80s, you was completely out. You walking around with your grandfather clothes. All the big and tall stores always had all the grandfather clothes. Grandfather clothes. What I mean by grandfather clothes, it was like that old La Tigra, that old I don't even remember the names of some of them stuff. You know them Sears Warbuck? All of y'all did shopping for your pops back in the days of your grandfather. That's all they had in the late 80s. You had to really, really search. And shout out to the Asian population because they were the only ones. You go deep into the hood. That's what my mother had to do. She had to go to Chinatown. Get the goose. You know? And I had a considerable amount of, you know, we wasn't no Huxtables, but we was all right. We was above, I mean, we was like a little above like broke, if that makes sense. We was always like decent. Like somebody lose their job and we in the poorhouse. Put it like that. Especially with a house. But listen, I learned though around attractive women, because I know a lot of dudes got a lot of statements in this and that. And you could catch one slipping. You could catch a dime slipping. I'm talking about in the States, the Matrix. You could catch one slipping, but ask all the dudes in the Navy. All the dudes in the Navy, some of their best girls was the ones that was either stuck on a ship. You dudes. Or when you in Hanoi or whatever, or where was that spot where the Karate Kid went to in Karate Kid 2? What was the name of that? Wonton Island or something. Where was that at? No disrespect to the Asians, but where was that at? Anyway, Hagasaki? No, God, I can't remember. I am the man who will fight for your honor. But listen, everybody likes to think they're around a dime. There's dudes I know that have so many women. Listen, until I met my barber, I was really, like, you know, really trying to be friends with those types. Really. I wanted to be friends with these dudes. And a lot of people, listen, strayed away from that because a lot of those dudes was gangsters. At each phase of my life, I met, like, new people. You know what I mean? Because a lot of my dudes went to school, got with their girl. I mean, these dudes was like 26 with like 11 and 12-year-olds. So, people had obligations. People already was at the hardware store trying to fix their door on a Sunday. I was like, the fat man's still partying. The fat man's still living his life. Listen, I've known dudes in the late 80s that was getting with white women when white women really wasn't feeling the brothers like that. They like Third Base and the Beastie Boys and all of that, but they, come on. Oh, he bopping and bouncing? Bopping and bouncing? Watch out for the TMI music because it's coming, okay? Ha! A lot of people over, see, look at that, you got a bad shit. God damn, you almost killed me, girl. Yo, I've never, listen, anytime I was around an attractive female was because I was cool with her. Like, I learned to be so cool and so deep into the friend zone that I never knew how to get out. To the point where I was just stuck. My mother be like, so-and-so's here. Like, why? What do you want? Like, I've never been in so much pain in my life when they would be like crying, coming over my house. I need to talk to you. Rick broke up with me again, and he was with his ex last night. I sat out in front of his house for 12 hours. No food, no water. And it was like, yo, like, are you serious? So at the time, I was like, I don't even want to be around him. Everybody talks about the wins. They never talk about the losses. Everybody's a Bill Belichick of the game, right? Everybody's just a Bill Belichick. Why do you keep talking like that, TMI? What makes you so greater? What makes you a professor? What makes you a progressor? But that's why I interview people. I don't interview people, but I question people. I question your validity. Is that the right word? I want to know if you got... Thin people just do better. I'm sorry. No girl wants to go to the family reunion with the 420-pound dude. I'm sorry. So as much as you dudes is out there lying, and I believe some dudes. Like I said, these dudes that are 63 to be like, man, listen, I used to play for Clemson. I got cut by Barry Switzer. I'm looking at this dude like, you know Barry Switzer? A lot of you dudes don't know who Barry Switzer is. And it kill me though, some of the dudes you meet out there and be like, you don't watch no sports, you don't listen to no music, you just want to sit on the strip looking at women, which should be my goal more. But I gotta walk around talking to dudes. Or how am I gonna tell you what the truth is? How am I gonna know? Some dude tell me in the hotel, like, come up and be like, hey man, had 2 in the room last night. Was phenomenal. Great. How much you give them? Did they sleep over? No. How much did you give them? I gave them $175 a piece. What? Did they change your shocks in the front and the back? And did they rotate your tires? Because good Lord. Say man, by the people that jump back. I'm gonna kill myself. Listen, at the end of the day though, because it's hard for the expats. A lot of expats, they just counting pennies. Not like the the brothers that go to Casa Linda. You gotta give them credit, man, when they pulling up in a van, costume jewelry. They got the Murcielago gold, whatever it's called. The Versace. I fell over my sneaker game, man. I had to give it up, man. I can't move 500 pairs. I had water damage on them, storage. At my homegirl's house in Manhattan. Miami had sneakers. Real quick story. I got a little white thingy thing in Deerfield. Shout out to Deerfield. Shout out to Florida. West Palm Beach. Boynton. That's how you gotta say Boynton. You don't care to say Boynton, you gotta say Boynton. Boynton Beach. But we were, chilling. Cause I was down there I lived in Florida for like a month and 3 weeks, right? Almost 2 months. And, she kind of thinks she still got it, but she got a gut. She kind of went too far with the prescription joints and kind of went super left with it. So her mind kind of plays games sometimes. But she from the hood. I don't know, like most of her life. I got her by at least 7 years. And good girl. But I think she trip out sometimes. Because one time we was at a we were at a bar beach by the water, chilling. And she was like, just sometimes witches be trying to kill me. Like, who? Like Dorothy. Knives. I was like, okay. But listen, when we got to the boom, 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 pow, 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 the boom, 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 pow, when we got to that, the gymnastics, I was like, ooh, there's a lot of biting involved. But anyway, a lot of people are going to think what they're going to think because they just assume. And a lot of people are going to assume, like a lot of YouTubers just going to tell you what it is. Like, I can't ride on the back of a bike with a GoPro anymore. I never been on the back of a bike. I'm just a man. I can't be on the back of a bike. Can't pay $10 a day for a scooter when I can rent a car for $20 a day. I just can't. But the Expat, they got like watch every penny, so I understand why they don't do those certain things. And it sounds like I get on them, but they're the ones that you critiquing the most. You know what I mean? Critiquing. I wish they would tell some of the Latin and Spanish brothers in the States that, hey, we're locals. You should be doing what the locals do. How many times do you have to say that to your mind? What do you have against the expats? Why do you hate us? Why do you delete us? Why do you champagne and caviar? But I've trained myself through the years of not falling in love with them when I be around them in their presence. I had one I met at I used to always go get cologne. Shout out to the Sunrise Mall. And I used to go and chill. After a while, like, she'd be like, what? She's like, you just asked me for my number? Like, yeah. Batman, bionic spoons. That's what I said. She'd be like, okay. It was like 67028. And that's another thing, baby. You might lose that paper. Memorize them numbers. I mean, now we got cell phones, but my boy always used to be like, you memorize the last 4 numbers, you Gucci. So anyway, became very cool with it. And I think I instantly would go in with the friend zone. So I would always just be like fighting to get out. Like that faithful night, just be sitting there and be like talking and complaining about a man. Everybody other than me. He ain't complaining about me because I'm doing everything right, friend-wise. And I would take that hand and be like, whoop, like, oh, there's a hand on my lap. Yeah. What do you think about me and you? She like, wait, what? Hold up, Bubba. Hold up, 9 cheeks. Flubber hip, hold on. You not thinking you gonna get up in this? She was Egyptian and Puerto Rican. Good Lord. I knew exactly how to get into it. I got in kind of quick. I only knew it for like a month and a half. And that's another thing about Sosua. You're not planning so far ahead. Yeah. I met her in April of last year. Like, what? Good Lord. Nobody talks about the losses. Everybody's great. And the dude, it's funny, you run into dudes like, I took that down. I had this. And be like, yeah, but we all did. There's numbers involved. Silly man. But all jokes aside, the fat guys, they're doing so well. So I'm the voice of you guys speaking to me. Here to help. The back end guys, the guys that were stuck in Macy's for 18 years. Because listen, my mother was always like, you got a good, my grandmother, you got a good job, you don't leave good jobs. Like my grandmother was a custodian. Like she was like one of the last ones, and I think in New York State, that went from like the 40, no, not the 40, yeah, because my mother was a teenager, blah, blah, blah. I think she went like early 50s to like 95. Because they just couldn't get rid of her because of a certain process of something through New York State. If you started a job, and so she was making like, you know, in the 80s, she was doing all right. That beautiful woman. But at the end of the day, I didn't have the boom, pow, like some of the other brothers I've been around. Like when the Fireman's Fair was like, this is your one shot for the summer. The 8 weeks or the 9 weeks you are off from school. That this is your moment, or you're gonna be spent on your bike riding around the whole summer trying to find these girls, or a particular girl. You go into the mall, walking around with $10 in your pocket with a shake that you done had in your hand for 6 hours. You know what I mean? And this is real numbers. Like walking, you know, sitting in the mall like a shift. It's like, you might as well get jobs here. That's how I got my job at McCrory's. Shout out to McCrory's. It always used to amaze me, like, anytime I was not interested in a girl is when I was the closest to the boom, pow. Oh, TMI, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. We want restaurant review. Tell us about the bridge. More about the bridge. We're fiending for the bridge. We want bridge info. We need bridge intel. Tell us about the taxes in the Dominican Republic. We want to be Dominican. We do our pinky like this, like Dominicans. I love it. My Dominican friends think some of the dudes are just so corny. Like, why would you be yourself? Pretty young thing is the earth of me. I feel good today. Boom, pow. That's the new gymnastics, okay? But me and the baby lady gonna get it right. So I got more stories, intel, everything's coming. Everything's coming. It's coming. Just wait. The movie is just started.